Hello and welcome back. Got ourselves a game against Bobby Silou from France. 5 minute game. It's always an interesting question to ask to the bishop when it's out here. They always have to make some decision, and now with the decision having been made, I kind of get the feeling like it's good for us because the knight has a hard time developing, and we don't really care if he captures or doesn't capture. It's not a big deal for us, and he's spending a lot of tempo on the opening moves. Is he just waiting for me to mess up with the move order? Maybe, I don't know. But we'll tap him again. Actually, we'll tap him again, and now I'm not sure if we should tap one more time. But is it too weakening a move? I think we'll let the jury be out on that one for a bit. We'll see what he does. The thing is, if he does a g4 surprise, we have this move now, which wasn't there earlier when the bishop was here. So we can kind of keep this as a potential option. Now it's also quite clear he's going to play here. This feels very ambitious and maybe a bit too much. I think it has to be played though. We're going to play this. And now we'll have optionality on taking that, unless, of course, he tries to hide it somewhere. I don't really. He could take the queen and hide it here. But the good news is we can develop the bishop and wait to decide on this knight until after it's threatened. Now it's more sensible to take. And now we gotta decide, are the queens better on the board or off the board in this position? You should always be considering that. Is it neutral? We've got an outstretched position, and we do have the bishop pair. So with the extra knights on the board, that does support the queen more than it supports us. At the same time, capturing here just helps the structure too much for it to be worthwhile. Now, the thing is, this is a nice move, but I think we have to just accept it. It's a nice move. It does close up the position, which could, in theory, help his knights, but the devil is in the details, and the details ain't working out for him at this point, I would say. So we're gonna let him do whatever he wants. And now we're gonna keep the queens on the board. I think this kind of position where you have so much space, you have to preserve that in a way. Of course, now the check in the mail here, we might want to simplify with a queen off. Okay, he's playing very quick. He's playing very quick. It's a time game. There's no increment. Gotta remember that. Gotta remember that. Okay. How do we play this position? I guess knight comes here. Or where? Let's start playing some faster moves here. Let's start playing some faster moves. You can see he's already only playing for time, basically, because he doesn't need to play fast, but he wants to outclock me. And that's going to be his folly, I reckon. That's going to be his mistake, his error in judgment. Our error in judgment is that our position is a lot of space, but a passive position ultimately, and unclear maneuvering of certain pieces. May, it's tempting to play this, but it helps his position a lot as well. Just want to make sure you don't lose on time though in this game. The maneuvering is at its finest in this particular game. It's just going to be a little game of maneuverment, if that's a word. So we've repositioned the bishop for purely defensive duties, and we've offered the trade of queens. I mean, we've taken the trade of queens, and a king's well positioned for defense here. He is primed for some sort of weird outpost, rook outpost here, but it's nothing. It's nothing. Nothing for us to worry about anyway. So let's start the maneuverings, the proceedings on this side of the board. Let's start the proceedings. Start the maneuverment. How exactly to do that? Should we also get the knight here, I wonder? Could it be a good idea? It could be a good idea. Could be a decent idea, but Lewis, he's blocked it off. Actually, we maybe should have gone here. I don't know. Okay, he's going a little bit aggressive on this one, possibly. You have to be careful about it. Can't quite see how to break through effectively on either side of the board, really. But what I can see is that I have the better position in the sense that I can play super fast in this position. This is my kind of position. I don't think there's a surprise mate that I need to watch out for. We can just buy a few seconds here and there. Okay, now with the position having reached its apex, we gotta find a way for the breakthrough. I think we gotta do it. All right, we've done one. We've done a second here. Okay, now we've tangled him up a bit, but to what end? Seemingly none. Yeah, I mean, I'm I am going to finesse it one way or another. One way or another. Close game, you try to outclock me, you're gonna get outclocked yourself. Okay? Don't try to play that shit with me. I can do it too, man. I can do it too. I just wanted to get into a favorable pawn structure so I could muscle it through. And if you see, there was some wisdom in it all. I mean, we were just buying time on the clock, but we got the opportunity to execute the time skirmish tactic right at the very end because of our time play. But anyway, all in all, this it was a good game. There's not much to gloat about here. Let's just accept it for what it was, which was a pretty decent game from Black. Not mind blowing, but pretty decent. I mean, if anyone had the edge, it was me. But he was playing fast. He was playing fast, but doesn't mean he was better. Okay, here I made a mistake. Here I made, but he was not looking to even try to capitalize on my mistakes. You see, he was just playing for the clock. He'd already kind of checked out in a way, checked out psychologically. I mean, this is it's a bad position for White. Objectively, it's a bad position. So we have an easy job here as Black. The only thing is we can lose on time, and that's one thing we didn't want to ever try. Now, this was the wrong strategic idea. It's important to pay attention to this. That this had no real benefit. Much better would have been to keep the knight on the board and not allow him this counterplay here. Actually, so good lesson there. Good lesson. Now it was well and truly a drawn position here. Neither side had any real edge. And this is where we went into our time skirmish stuff, where we just whittled down the clock to an even position and then gradually avoided the draw with some weird sequencing of moves. So it's still totally even position, neither here nor there. But of course, time is now the only factor at play. And wasn't not always the case. So then, of course, at the very end, when he had a few seconds left, you can play the time tricks on him. But yeah. All right. Cheers.